What's up, guys? Big Papa Drock back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are. As always, it was Memorial Day weekend here in the States this past weekend, and I had a friend's birthday party that I went to, and it was a lot of fun. So I had a wonderful weekend myself. Got a little too much sun. I'm not too bad of a sunburn, but definitely more than I would have liked. You know, obviously Memorial Day, oftentimes the real meaning of it for us Americans gets lost, I think, because it's typically like a big party weekend and you get time off of work. But, you know, it's really about memorializing fallen soldiers and remembering the people that have sacrificed so much for us. So I just wanted to call that out. And you know, obviously there are many people in my community that I've developed over the last several years on Twitch that are veterans and that have friends or family members that have served and maybe have fallen in battle. So I just wanted to take a moment to I guess give some appreciation to those people. You know, we're over here playing a game, and at the end of the day, you know, it's not really that important, right? So whether you're American or whether you're, you know, somewhere else around the world, if you know a service member, give them thanks for putting their life on the line for you. So just something that I wanted to mention before we get into today's video. And what we're doing today, just so you know, is we are doing a look at what I consider, or what I think might be, the world's strongest Vlad, which is mine. Now, anytime I make these videos, I always say, take what I say with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, I don't know if someone has a stronger Vlad. They very well might, but mine's pretty damn strong. So I love sharing this kind of content with you guys so you can get an idea of what the whales and the krakens have on their teams whenever they're going up in Plat Arena. Speaking of which, I had my best Plat Arena finish yet this past weekend. I finished 16th, which was really cool. So getting better, improving every day. Hopefully I'll be able to break into the top 10 soon and then eventually take that trophy if I get lucky. But enough about Plat Arena. Let's talk about Vlad the Nightborn, baby. There he is in all his glory. I kind of, am I crazy, or do I kind of look like him a little bit? You know what I mean?
Needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture.
A little bit, you know what I mean? He's a lot paler than I am, but I don't know. I can see some resemblance there. I mean, Vlad is basically Raid's, you know, Dracula. So if you love Dracula, if you love that kind of stuff, Vlad might be your guy. I've got a +4 5-star awakened Vlad, so not all the way. But really, once you get past level 4, it's not super important, since level 4 is what gives you that extra crit damage. Let's take a look at his skills before we jump into the stats. On the A1, attacks one enemy, destroys the target's max HP by 30% of the damage inflicted. Also heals the champion by 30% of the damage inflicted. Destroying max HP, not super useful, especially in arena where you normally use Vlad. But hey, healing yourself on an A1, not a bad thing, and Vlad can hit pretty freaking hard. So that's pretty cool. You'll see damage is based on attack there. For the A2, attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing a leech debuff for 2 turns. Also has a 75% chance of stealing 50% of the turn meter from champions from the Banner Lord. Very important when you think about Taurus or Marichka, who are both Banner Lord and very much in the meta right now. Sacred Order or High Elf factions. So that's 3 pretty great factions when you think about the champions you might see in arena. Sacred Order, that's Cupidus, that's Venus. You know, High Elf, there's Arbiter. And you're going to steal that turn meter, which is pretty awesome. Has a 75% chance of decreasing the turn meter by 50% instead against targets not from those factions. So no matter what, you're either stealing turn meter with this ability or decreasing it. And it's important to see that this books up to 100% and is on a 3-turn cooldown when fully booked. That's a pretty sick ability, you know what I mean? And it also hits pretty darn hard. So not a bad ability whatsoever. Placing the leech, you know, take it or leave it, not super important in today's arena. And realistically, you'll see how I build him. I build him with lower accuracy, so he doesn't place a lot of his debuffs, because polymorph, we all know how I feel about it, I hate it, is still such a big thing you're going to run into in high level arena. So placing debuffs in this game, for whatever reason, you can't really do it anymore. Thanks, Raid. Makes tons of sense. Anyway, this is not a polymorph complaining video. Let's continue. Vlad was recently buffed. This was the skill that was buffed, I believe. It used to be a single target skill. Now it is an AoE. Attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance, booking up to 100%, of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff and a block active skills debuff for 2 turns. Places a perfect veil buff on this champion for 2 turns as well. That's a pretty darn good ability. You know, Vlad actually has some solid abilities. And again, if we weren't in the polymorph meta right now, or if Stone Skin didn't exist, Vlad might very well be one of the best nukers in the game if you were looking back a year or two ago before either of those things came into play. Because he's got great debuffs, he does pretty solid damage, as you'll see, and he is able to hide himself with that perfect veil, which is pretty sick also. So let's take a look at the passive. Places a revive on death buff on this champion for 2 turns every time this champion kills an enemy. Also fully heals this champion and fills their turn meter by 50% every time they kill an enemy. Will only heal and fill this champion's turn meter when Constantine the Dayborn is on the same team. So if you guys remember, Vlad and Constantine came out at the same time. I believe they were a Halloween fusion or something along those lines, or a Halloween fragment summon or something like that. And when paired together, they're actually pretty powerful champions.
Prepare for trouble.
Make it double.
I happen to have a +4 Constantine as well. So I'm thinking about doing a little duo video. I don't know. Would you guys be into that? A little Vlad Constantine duo? I definitely want to do a World's Strongest Constantine showcase since he's +4 Awakened. I don't know if you can see it here. There you go. He's +4 Awakened. There's Constantine. So just something to think about. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see that kind of content down below. For the blessing, I've got Soul Reaper on here for Vlad. So obviously you've probably seen this in Arena. Basically throws out the Reaper if you get below a certain level of health percentage. Really great to help get those kills in Arena. So I love that. For masteries, this is pretty standard nuker in the past. You can't see Helm Smasher down below or Kill Streak. But realistically, nowadays, you're going to see a lot more people switching this up because debuffs aren't so important anymore. I'm going to leave it as is since Vlad does throw out a debuff. And while he's not built with high accuracy for my build, if he lands one of those blocked active skills or decreased defense debuffs on an enemy nuker, for example, that doesn't have polymorph, that is actually valuable, especially on Taurus, who obviously is so hard to kill in the arena. So I've got, the Ruthless Ambush, the opportunities for increased damage with certain debuffs, etc. Again, you could build him with Whirlwind of Death to make him faster. You could build him with Cycle of Violence. That's what most people are building nukers with nowadays, or even potentially double counterattack. Or if you wanted to use him as a debuffer, you could go on the support tree instead of defense and actually increase his accuracy if you were going to use him that way. I wouldn't recommend it for today's arena, but in the past, very well might have been what you would do. Let's get into the build, guys. So I've got essentially Hell Hades Optimizer built this one for me of my strongest pieces, strongest stats for Vlad specifically. He's not built super fast, but he's also not built slowly. So let's take a look at what we got on here. We got a triple crit damage roll on this bad boy with some speed and attack. I could glyph that up further with speed. We've got crit damage, attack. This piece is just okay. Could be a lot better. There's no crit ratings you'll see on it, but that's because some of the other pieces we have are pretty bonkers. We've got a crit damage piece here with crit rate, crit damage, defense, and speed. Crit damage with attack percentage roll, crit rate, and speed. Great piece right there. You only wish that this had rolled attack percentage, then it would have been basically perfect for an epic. This chest is pretty darn disgusting. Again, wish it had rolled attack percentage on that Ascension, but triple crit rate with attack percentage and speed and crit damage, that's one of the best pieces I have for chest pieces on my account. Other people I'm sure have better, but for me, that's definitely one of my better ones. And then we've got the boots with attack percentage and an attack percentage Ascension, crit rate. These boots are just okay, frankly, but this Ascension is so good, right? Like, that's what really makes these boots. Ideally, you would have seen, attack percentage down here. You would have seen crit damage. Like, these are far from perfect, but that Ascension really makes them worth holding on to. It's crazy how that can change gear. For the accessories, and as you can see, Savage set and crit damage set. For the accessories, this is a god tier attack piece. I actually normally have this on my Rhodos, which is triple attack, speed roll, fully glyphed out, just naughty, a naughty piece. Crit damage, we got double attack, a little accuracy, nothing too crazy, and then we got a triple attack roll on the attack ring. So what does it add up to, guys? Let's take a look at the full stats for our boy Vlad. Oh baby, 8,500 attack, 194 speed. So not super fast as you would see in live arena metas today, which is typically over 210, 220, 230, 240, but still not super slow. Like he's built more for Classic Arena at the moment than he is for Live Arena. For the crit damage, 358% and 190 accuracy. So he's built pretty burly. The one thing about Vlad is if you look at his stats, he doesn't have a super high base attack, so it is challenging sometimes to get that attack up that high. He also has a pretty low base HP. The defense is solid for a nuker, but he's hard to keep alive. So he's kind of a glass cannon a little bit. Speed is great though. You know, both Constantine and Vlad have fantastic speed. So enough talking. Let's get him into a little damage test. Let's test him against my Leorius in a dungeon. We'll go to, what do I usually do? Dragon, I think. Get out a hard. Oh, by the way, I'm so stoked for this triple speed event. Anybody else feeling excited? Oh man, the triple speed, triple savage. That is like the event you hope to see. Anytime that rolls up, you just want to dump as much energy in there as you possibly can. He's got a crit rate aura, which doesn't really help us since he's crit capped. What do I want to do here? We're going to throw Arbiter in here, and then I actually have to use... My Lydia is too slow now. I really need to glyph her up. I need more glyphs big time. So I'm going to have to use my Dracomorph to get that decreased defense and weaken buff out. But let's see what he can do in the dungeon area. We'll slow it down. We'll get a little increase attack. I should have gone with Leorius first, I'm just realizing, but we'll go ahead and just show you so we didn't get a decreased defense on this, but let's start with his A2. That's the one that steals turn meter. See how it is. We've slowed it down. Boom, 169. We got Soul Reap. I couldn't see the other ones over here, so I'm not sure what they came out at, but I saw 170, 180 maybe, which is not bad. So let's do it again. This time we'll do the A3 and get an idea of what that looks like. Let me come up a little bit here so we can get a better view of what the numbers are. Decreased defense, weaken, throw it out there. Let's bust out the A3. This is the one that also has decreased defense and block active skills on it. Again, he's not built for accuracy in this build. He's built basically for damage. Let's see what we get. 273. Holy smokes, up there. We saw big numbers on that bad boy. 273. Sheesh. Okay, Vlad. And you'll see he got that revive on death for getting a kill, which is pretty sick. And he gets the perfect veil. So that's pretty useful as a nuker. Those were some strong numbers. I'm really curious to see how my Leorius compares. Let's switch him out and just get an idea of what Leorius does. Again, I should have done Leorius first since I'm showcasing Vlad, but whatever, you know what I mean? And we'll just do this once with Leorius with his A2, which is his strongest hitting ability. Should hit for a lot less because he has full health, and Leorius obviously, oh God, well, we'll just do that. All right, well, unfortunate. I have Relentless Draco. All right, let's see what we got here for the Leorius. It was double hitting pretty close, actually. Hitting pretty close, if not more. So, all right, so comparable, maybe a little bit more damage on the one hit than a Leorius. Yeah, probably, because that was like 120 per hit, so maybe like 230, 240. So I think he does a little bit more damage than Leorius. Leorius is A2, at least at full health. So he hits pretty hard, you know what I mean? Like he's not the best nuker, right? You know, if you're looking at today's nukers, you're probably picking Taurus or, you know, Baron as your overall best AoE nukers nowadays. You could throw Leorius in the conversation, certainly when he drops to 1% HP. And this is for Legos. We're talking about just, you know, normal Legos, not like a Kitus or any kind of special setup. So but he hits pretty hard, right? And he's got 2 AoE abilities. And I think in today's arena, that's such an advantage, because you think about what you see in Platinum Arena typically at the end of a reset is you see a bunch of ultimate Death Knights, which essentially negates your single target abilities. Like that's the one downside to throwing a Taurus into an ultimate Death Knight is Taurus only has 1 AoE, right? He has a bunch of single target abilities, or double hitter on his A1, which you can use with the ally attack with Marichka, but he doesn't have that second AoE. Vlad does, which is really useful. So let's go ahead, jump into Classic Arena, and maybe we'll even do a live arena battle if it's still up at the end. We'll do like 1 live arena battle. Yeah, we got plenty of time, so we'll see how we look there. Refresh list. We are in Platinum Arena. It's early in the week, so you're not going to see super strong teams right now. But at least this will give you an idea of what's out there. Let's see if we can find someone who's got something decent. Hey, here you go. Oh, only level 78 though. I was gonna say Marichka right there could be interesting. What do we got here? 19.7. Yeah, that's not bad. Let's start with this. We'll start with the Ronda. For what I'm gonna use, we're gonna throw out the Arbiter. We're gonna put our Vlad in there. I have this set to do the other way around. There we go. Vlad, my boy, my doppelganger. What I would look like if I were paler and thinner. All right, we're gonna throw out, you know, the real star. Also, I think anytime you watch a content creator's, you know, showcase video, the real star is Necrit. You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest, Necrit is basically a requirement for a lot of teams in today's Platinum Arena. Not necessarily. You can get around it by using Duchess or by using, you know, other comps or building your you know, your damage dealer differently, but realistically, Necrit is so important to enabling the best version of these skills. And then because I like to make things easy on myself, let's throw a Yumiko in there to shut everything down, right? All right, we won't start it on auto. Let's see what we got. We should outspeed these guys. Shouldn't be a question. They got a Ronda. Just curious to see. I don't think we can one-shot because I would imagine they probably have some type of reaction. But we'll find out. Let's see. Let's go ahead and toss out a little Whirlwind of Death. I don't want to, I'm not going to use the A2 from Necrit. Let's start with the A2 from Vlad. So this should actually steal the turn meter from Arbiter if we have enough accuracy. Oh, baby, yes. Yes! Clearly in reaction for the Duchess, but not bad. Annihilated the Ronda and the Arbiter. And look, he's already back at full turn meter. Say good night. He got Polymorph. And even at 190 accuracy, my friends, he still got Polymorph. Boy, I love Polymorph. Isn't it fun having your champions be sheep all the time? Just for actually doing what they're supposed to do. If this isn't a case in point as to why Plarium needs to nerf Polymorph, I really don't know what to say. Because champions like Vlad that place debuffs have to be built with basically 0 accuracy, which is very tough to do when you look at a Great Hall, or they're not usable, right? Like, what percentage Polymorph of that? That was only a 10% chance for Polymorph. Plarium, for the love of God, please nerf this blessing. Look, if you're not in Platinum Arena, you probably aren't super hurt by this, right? But if you're competing in Platinum Arena every single week, it has made it an absolute slogfest. And I know a lot of people are worried about, well, Drock, the speed meta, Drock, then it's just going to go. No, it's not, man. That's what Stone Skin is there for, okay? Stone Skin helps to counteract the speed meta anyway. By reducing the effect of Polymorph, you're going to bring resistance back into the game at some level. You'll allow people to use accuracy champions like Lady Kimi or nukers that have different debuffs like Vlad. You know, I'm not saying get rid of it. I'm just saying make it less prevalent. Anyway, that's a tangent, but God, that is so frustrating when that happens. It doesn't matter in a battle like that. You know, my champions are stronger. But I mean, look at this. Polymorph. This is what Platinum Arena has become, Plarium. Wake up, sheeple! Nerf it! Wake up! Anyway, let's do another showcase of Vlad now that we've gotten that out of the way. All Polymorph, all the time. The Sheep Lord, baby. That's what we live for. That's what we love about this game. God, I love it. All right. Arbiter's back in here. Increase attack. Shut him down. Let's see if we hit this. Thankfully, didn't put any debuffs on that one. My accuracy is low enough because keep in mind, Vlad's A2 has a debuff as well. Don't forget. All right, do that. There you go. Having fun. Come on, Vladdy Daddy. Let's see. Can we take out the Sifi? Can we take him out? Let's find out. Boom. Soul Reap. Block the active skill. Didn't get the Soul Reap kill, though. That's interesting. Okay. Very strange. Sometimes that happens. Everyone's got Polymorph. It's a pretty tanky team thanks to Harima. So I'm picking teams that are you know, intentionally harder in some way, shape, or form. Obviously, here with Harima, they're negating a lot of, you know, the the effect of Savage as well as Helm Smasher, since Harima reduces ignore defense effects by 50, which is pretty crazy. But Vlad's still doing what he came here to do. It doesn't matter, baby. Look at Vlad go. Mind shrouding, tearing stuff up. He's legitimately viable if you can build him with no accuracy, which is a big if, given how much accuracy is built into these champions just from Great Hall and empowerment and everything else. If they ever decide to change polymorph, Vlad could really be a close to top tier nuker. I wouldn't put him top tier because he doesn't hit quite as hard as some of the big boys, but he's got some great utility. He's got some great utility. Hey, that was a nice hit right there. They've got Stone Skin. We'll just play this out. Let's see if we can actually get the Stone Skin off earlier. No, not going to happen. We're not going to waste the AoE. We'll just do that. Doesn't matter who we target. Ultimate Death Knight's there. We'll see if we can get Ultimate Death Knight's Stone Skin away a little bit faster. A1 hits pretty hard too, as you can see. It's doing some damage to that UDK, who I'm sure is built like a tank, possibly with reaction. Though I think at least one of those was a non-reaction proc. So we're back around here. Let's see if we can get the Stone Skin off. So close. So close. And this is what I talk about, how the speed meta really wouldn't come back, frankly, to the same level if you got rid of polymorph. Stone Skin still exists. You're still going to have to fight through that. You know what I mean? You're still going to have to figure out a way to deal with that. So, I think it's overblown. I think the people that are afraid of getting rid of polymorph, frankly, need to think about why they want to have 2, 3, 4 minute long fights where your champions get sheeped 6 different times. It's not fun because it's RNG. One more classic arena battle, then we'll take them into live battle or live arena. Let's see if we can find a really good team here. Can we find a Marichka? Let's see if we can find a Marichka Taurus team. Here's one, but it's only a 3 for. Here we go. Oh yeah, Sethybot's got a nasty team. This should be interesting. Let's see what Sethybot's got. Sethybot typically finishing in the top 15 or so of Platinum Arena on a weekly basis. So his teams are usually pretty naughty. Now, one of the great things for Vlad when it comes to facing a Taurus or a Marichka team is this ability right here, the block active skills. If it had hit, would have prevented him from getting counterattacks going forward. Sadly, it didn't work, but had it worked, Taurus wouldn't be able to counterattack with that block active skill. So just think about that. If you have a Vlad and you're struggling with Taurus, you could hypothetically place that buff on just Taurus and hopefully not get sheeped and prevent him from counterattacking if you hit Marichka, which is obviously really big. I'm going to go ahead and hit with the AoE. Yeah, I figured I could probably get the knock here. All right, now we want to take out the Marichka if we can. Hopefully we don't get polymorphed. Always a big if, you never know. We got there, and Vlad's coming back around to his turn. Got to make sure the Sifi doesn't get her turn off. She did, but thankfully wasn't. We might not be able to get back around here. Vlad's getting hit there again. Necrit so clutch. I might have to dally with this. There goes the Marichka, back up. See if we can do some damage there. Let's slow that down. Slow him down, make sure he doesn't get a turn, hypothetically. Oh, she's restoring HP, baby. She's restoring HP. The question is, can I tank this? Can I tank this hit? I don't know. Nope, but he did revive right away. It won't really matter, though, because he's going to get absolutely blitzed by the Taurus. I'm going to let him die because he's going to die here. They're all going to die. Never mind. Everybody dies. Hold on. I got to try this team one more time. We didn't get the block active skills initially. I think we can beat it with this team. We got to try one more time. I mean, again, Taurus and Marichka, what are you going to do, guys? They're pretty strong. This isn't the ideal team. Hey, now we got a polymorph. I still hate it. I wish it didn't exist. It's still stupid. And now the funny thing is we're not even shutting down Taurus's skills, which is hysterical. So now we really don't even have any kind of benefit for it, other than the fact that we can, try to decrease the debuffs, the debuff turn time for for our girl Marichka here, which we did successfully pull off. And Taurus now also loses half health. It's just a like, guys, polymorph sucks, okay? It just does. It really makes zero sense. All right, we got the block active skills now. Awesome. He didn't die thanks to Necrit. Can we prevent the Sifi from getting one more turn? I sincerely doubt it. I'm going to go ahead and sell out with the defense to try to get this off because I don't think she has her stuff back. Awesome. I think she gets it back on the next turn, but we already killed Marichka. We're good, baby. I forgot. We killed Marichka. Let's go. A full auto. Yes. Yes. Vlad, top tier. 1 minute. Vlad. Vlad is the best. Vlad is your dad. Vlad is somewhat viable. Again, that block active skills on Taurus is so huge if you can pull it off, if you can survive that initial counterattack, because he's going to hit first before he applies the block active skills, or at least trigger the counterattack before that goes into effect. But every turn thereafter, assuming you've locked out Marichka, she's not going to cleanse. Okay, pretty cool. Let's take him in for one live arena battle, guys. Let's do one live arena battle. I don't know why I exited there. I should have gone right back. Let's see what we can do in live arena with our boy Vlad. We're up pretty high here now at 1966. Just to see, we're still at 97% win rate. I haven't done a ton of battles. I'm actually considering streaming live this coming Thursday. So be on the lookout. It would be on the YouTube channel, not the Twitch. But let's see. Can we get a win here with Vlad? I don't know. Who do I want? How do I want to roll with this? What team do I want to build with Vlad? And it would be hilarious if Vlad gets banned. I don't know why someone would ban Vlad over other heroes, but you never know. I'm going to roll with the Arbiter and with the Vlad to start. Really just throw someone off. I got to get this back to just regular rank because Vlad's not on my quick picks. There we go. That's also just hilarious to see. Like, you're like, whoa, Arbiter. You don't really see that in this level of arena. But there he is. There's our boy Vlad. We'll put in a. You know what? I'm gonna do my old standby that I used to do back in the day and substitute Vlad for Leorius, and we'll throw in the Harima. By the way, I pulled another Harima when I was going for Alsgore. I pulled another Harima, guys. +3 fully awakened. I think it's the world's strongest. If I can get her to +4, then it's definitely the world's strongest. So fingers crossed. We'll see if I get lucky the next time they do a Harima 10x or something like that. And we'll put the Yumiko in there. They've got a Harima. They got a Georgid. They got a Necrit. They got all sorts of fun stuff here. We're going to take out, they'll probably take out, Harima is scary, polymorph on a lot of characters. Sifi scary. You know what? I'm going to take out the Sifi. I'm going to take out the Sifi. All right, they did lock out, or they did ban my Yumiko. So not surprising. Yumiko or Harima is most likely to be banned, probably with Sifi up next. Usually people aren't banning Arbiters, and I didn't think they'd ban the Vlad. But let's see what we can do here. Real content creator, putting the win streak, well, the win streak's over, but putting his winning ability on the line. Let's hit the Necrit, take down the defense with Harima's A2. Gosh, that ability is so good. And let's go ahead and hit with the A3. Wow, annihilated the Necrit. Okay, sheesh. Sleep the Harima. Georgid is naughty, though. Georgid can do some naughty stuff. Question is, does he res here or does he wait? I would probably wait because he's most likely not. He went ahead and used it. I think that's a mistake because, well, actually, maybe not. Georgid's already back up a full turn. He might be able to kill me here. This should rip through one of my champions. He might eliminate me right now. Let's find out. Wow, I'm surprised. My Vlad lived. What the heck? How the heck did my Vlad live that? That makes no sense. He should have used the A1 to annihilate one of my my nukers. Yeah, he already gave up. All right, we won with Vlad, baby. What? This guy's power level has to be pretty low. I got to take a look here. No, 22.5, right around mine. Okay. All right, well, we won. There you go. We won a battle with Vlad. And surprisingly in convincing fashion. And he somehow survived. How the heck did he survive the A2 from Georgian? Or the A3 from Georgian? I have no clue. I don't know. Vlad's a tank, guys. You saw it here first. He's a monster. Yeah, man. So there you go. Gives you an idea. Like I said, I think I built this Vlad to be pretty darn strong. He's obviously viable in certain areas of arena. He's definitely viable as a champion, sub-platinum arena, or in lower level live arenas. Again, dependent on polymorph. What's the biggest enemy to Vlad? Polymorph, without a doubt. Because if you look here, if you look at what I did, he's built with just about the lowest accuracy you can possibly get, and he still got polymorphed on a Duchess, which is just crazy, right? That's the world we live in today. But I hope you enjoyed this showcase. Like I said before, I'll be live streaming soon, so make sure you're subscribed. You know, if you like the content, if you don't like the content, then, you know, don't come back, I guess. But just want to say I really appreciate the support. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you're at. And as always, thank you so much for showing up and watching the goofy videos that I put out. I will catch you later. I'm Big Papa Drock, and I am out.